Good afternoon and welcome into the Locker Room. I'm Namath Pitts. We welcome you in on this Wednesday afternoon. We are moving to 3 days a week for the months of May, June, and July due to obviously school getting out. So not as much taking place here in sports in East Alabama. But our goal is still to get creative and bring you the best content here in East Alabama, whether that's covering Little League Baseball, whether it's travel ball, the Chakalaka Monsters, Sunday golf with the adults here in East Alabama, whether it's interviewing football teams with workouts, volleyball teams with workouts, whatever it is, our goal is still to bring you the best content we can, but for only 3 days a week through the summer. Once we get back into August, get into football season, things will be a full swing once again. We'll go back to 5 days a week and bring you guys the best content here in East Alabama. Speaking of best, well, we had a couple of bests that took the field yesterday at Rudy Abbott Field and Jacksonville State at Jim Case Stadium, where the state championships took place for 3A and 5A in baseball. We had one of our local teams bring home their first state championship in baseball program history under a coach that is a longtime Alexandria guy, an alma mater guy, a guy that played for this team, was an assistant for 14 seasons, and brought them their first state championship. That guy's name is Zach Welch, and I could not be happier for him today than I am. Unfortunately, though, on the opposite end of that, for the Westbrook Christian Warriors, they saw their season come to an end on the opposite side after they lost Game 2 and 3 and fell in a heartbreaker in Game 3. Coach Jerry Wendell is truly probably one of the best coaches that I have ever encountered in any sport. I can tell you in just the little bit of conversations that we've had and the couple visits that I made, this guy is doing it for the right reason. This guy is leading these guys to what it's all about, which is eternal significance. He's leading these guys to the cross. And so I got to tell you, Coach Wendell's team might have fell in the state championship, but they are winners in my books. And I got to tell you, just absolutely, just so much gratitude I have towards Coach Wendell, so much gratitude I have towards Coach Welch for just the ride that I got to be a part of with these two teams. For Westbrook, only a couple weeks. For Alexandria, going all the way back to the first time I interviewed them this season, it was a ride that I truly enjoyed. And I was thinking about on the car ride home from Jacksonville yesterday, just this season, this school year that has now come to an end essentially, and was looking back at all the memories from just the time in Birmingham with Coach Dana Bryant, her final season as the volleyball coach, to watching them win a state championship, to wrestling season, Coach Fulmer, just the amount of visits we made over and over and over again, and getting to cover their duals team who won their first duals state championship, to just, again, the baseball field with Coach Welch and them at county tournament, telling him while we were standing there, this team's going to be playing at JSU. And it was just truly, just not just those guys. You think about the trips to Ramburn to talk to Coach Meter, Cleburne County with Coach Mayfield during wrestling season, during volleyball, my conversations with Coach Taylor at Donahoe, and just outside of softball still going on. We've got Alexandria, Piedmont, and Pleasant Valley that are still hitting the field. We're going to be covering them the next couple days, but I just have a lot of gratitude. I'm really thankful for just all the support we've had this school year, and as we get into the summer, we want that to ramp back up. Again, speaking of that, youth football, guys, is right around the corner. Like, before you know it, we're going to be at Alexandria, Weaver, Anniston, all these different places on Saturdays, bringing you Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics highlights. And so I'm just truly thankful to be in the position that I'm in with East Alabama now. And so with that being said, we start our show with our EA and scoreboard. Let's get into it. We did see a couple teams see their season come to an end in softball at the state tournament. The first one was the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Baldwin County just kept on adding runs, and eventually it was too much. Bird got the win for Baldwin County. She's a right-handed pitcher, gave up 3 hits, 0 runs over 7 innings, while striking out 11 batters. Only walked 3. Kaylin Crosley pitched 5 innings of relief for Oxford. The right-handed pitcher allowed 8 hits and 5 runs while striking out 6 and walking 2. Berkeley Mooney took the loss for the Yellow Jackets. She went 2 innings, giving up 2 runs, one of those earned, on 0 hits while striking out 5 and walking 4. Offensively for Oxford, Emma Timms-Becerra was 2 for 2 at the plate. She had 1 RBI. Ashton Burns had 2 stolen bases. And Bird was the pop for Baldwin County. She led them with 2 RBIs. The pitcher went 3 for 4 at the plate. And Drinker led Baldwin County with 2 walks. And for Coach McKibben's team, great season. Ashlyn Burns was an incredible player for this program. Berkeley Mooney was an incredible player for this program. And both of those players are 100% going to be missed. And both of those players are headed to play college softball. We wish them the best of luck and all the rest of the Oxford Yellow Jackets as well. Sticking in softball, though, let's talk about Coach Welch and the Spring Garden Panthers. Unfortunately, they fell, and that moved them to, well, the loser side, where they had to go head-to-head with Waterloo. Speaking of Waterloo, it was a pretty dominant win for Waterloo. They beat Spring Garden 15-0. 15-0 was the final score. And with that being said, Waterloo, of course, advanced in the state tournament while Spring Garden season came to an end. It was a great season, though, for the Spring Garden Panthers, one that saw them, of course, finish runner-up, get to the state tournament here. They've got a lot of talent. They will certainly have a lot of talent that will be coming back next season as well. So although they're going to lose some important pieces, they have some important pieces that are coming back. So we wish Spring Garden the best of luck moving forward. But they did fall to Waterloo 15-0. In baseball action, you're going to have highlights of this game today. The Alexandria Valley Cubs won in 2 games. They won one game, one on Monday, one game, 2 on Tuesday. The Valley Cubs took the first one 2-1. Andrew Allen was the star of that game, throwing a complete game. Game 2, Trick Patterson threw a complete game. Saw some adversity strike, but they still fought through it. And then they got the job done 8-4 as Alexandria is your Class 5A state champions. We're not going to get in-depth too much about this game in terms of stats and whatnot. We're going to save that for our East Alabama Now News tonight at 6:30 p.m. But Alexandria is your 5A state champions. They win game 1 2-1 and win game 2 8-4 to sweep Mobile Christian. And the final one went to 3 games. Westbrook Christian started the day Monday with an 11-5 win over Thomasville. Scored 4 runs in the 6th inning. Added more of that in the 7th. But Thomasville came out yesterday, took game 2 convincingly, 13-3. Game 3 came down to a play at third base. And Thomasville got the out as they defeated Westbrook Christian 8-7. And Thomasville is your Class 3A state champions. So we will have more on both of those games. Today we're going to have highlights of Alexandria Mobile Christian. You're going to hear from Zach Welch, Tripp Patterson, Andrew Allen. You're going to hear from Thomasville head coach Clint Anderson. We're going to have highlights of Thomasville and Westbrook Christian. So you're going to see the celebration awards presentation for both 3A and 5A. We really have a lot, and we are just getting started. So I hope you'll stay with us, because we'll be right back as we continue on the Locker Room.
Spring into freshness at WM. Celebrate the season with our bountiful selection of farm fresh produce. From juicy berries to crisp greens, taste the flavors of spring at WM. Visit us today and let the freshness bloom in every bite. For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Welcome back into the Locker Room on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm Namath Pitts. We were at Jacksonville State University the past 2 days, where the Class 3A and Class 5A baseball state championship series were taking place. Class 5A featured a local team in the Alexandria Valley Cubs. Class 3A featured a local team in the Westbrook Christian Warriors. Let's start with the good news today, which was for the Alexandria Valley Cubs. Their golf team, the ladies, started the day pretty strong yesterday by bringing home the Class 4A, 5A Girls Golf Championship. So could the baseball team bring back not 1, but 2 blue trophies in the same day? Well, let's get out to the highlights at Jacksonville State University so you can see for yourself. Here we are. Alexandria versus Mobile Christian for the 5A state championship at JSU. Walker Seaman gets the start for the Leopards. Trip Patterson gets the start for the Valley Cubs. Damian Gatson at the plate. He hits a fly ball to center field that is caught by Ty Brown. This time Bryce Rivers is at the plate. He hits a fly ball to right field that is caught by Ian Cartwright. Bray Good at the plate for Alexandria. He hits a single to center field. And Bray Good's going to get to first base right there with the single. Nick Thompson now at the plate. He's going to hit a ground ball that is fielded by the Leopards. They get it to second. Get it to first base, but an error by Mobile Christian will allow Nick Thompson to advance to second base. He's safe, so a little bit of a fielder's choice essentially. With an error is what gets him there. Aiden Bruner at the plate. He's going to hit one deep to right field. That's over the head of the right fielder, and that is going to be not a single, not a double, but an RBI triple for Aiden Bruner. He scores Nick Thompson. Give us a little celebration right there, Mr. Bruner. And he's pumped up, baby. Whoa! You see him right there? RBI triple for Aiden Bruner. This time, Alex Bennett at the plate. He hits a fly ball to left field. That would be caught by Bray Good for the out. Okay, let's get this right. Gavin Wansenhinker hits a single to center field. And I got to say it not once but twice because Gavin Wansenhinker is safe at second base, stealing a bag. So add that still to his stat list. And then P.J. Brown from Mobile Christian Leopards lays down a perfect bunt in no man's land. He's safe at first base, and all of a sudden, Mobile Christian's got something going. Trip Patterson, though, would follow that up by getting Noah Blackburn to strike out swinging. There would be a play at the plate next that would get Zach Welch ejected. After the ejection, though, Nick Thompson fields the ground ball and throws it out. So now, Alexandria's without Zach Welch. They got bases loaded. Trey Phillips, Jake Kilgo coaching things up. Bruner gets hit by the pitch with bases loaded, and that's going to score Bray Good. At home plate, Alexandria now trails 3-2, but still has bases loaded with one out. They're trying to have a big inning. Ian Cartwright at the plate. That one stings. Double play, and Mobile Christian gets out of the inning leading 3-2. Gavin Wansenhinker back at the plate. He hits a pop-up into foul territory. And Ian Cartwright comes from all the way from right field and makes the diving catch in foul territory for the out. Trip Patterson follows that up by getting P.J. Brown to strike out looking. You love those. Evan Snow at the plate. He hits it to left field. That's a single for Snow. He had it falling yesterday. Had some big hits, by the way. Ty Brown hits a single to left field, and all of a sudden, Alexandria has bases loaded again. Bray Good at the plate. He hits this one into the outfield. There's going to be an error by Mobile Christian. 1 run scores, 2 run scores, 3 runs scored. And inside the park, single/error/grand slam, whatever you want to be. I don't know. I just know it's 4 runs for the Valley Cubs, and they're pumped up. Bray Good had hit after hit after hit all playoffs long. You go back to Sardis with the double, Springville with the double. This one against Mobile Christian. Somebody get a towel or a fan and cool this guy off because Bray Good was on fire with clutch moment after clutch moment in the postseason. He gives Alexandria a 3-run lead. Noah Blackburn hits a single to left field. Aiden Gatson now at the plate for Mobile Christian. He hits a ground ball to Nick Thompson. He throws it to second to get the out, looking for the double play. They can't get it as they gets there in time. You see Carpenter right here to Snow. Snow makes a great play at the hot corner for the out, and the celebration begins. Look at the right corner. You see Zach Welch? He gets to come back in and celebrate with the Valley Cubs after being ejected. What a moment for the Valley Cubs. Their first baseball state championship in school history. And Zach Welch played for the Valley Cubs. 14 seasons as an assistant coach under Coach Shaw. And in only his second season as the head coach, the Valley Cubs finish on top. This guy, man, I don't think people realize what he's had to deal with the past couple weeks personally. Now, I know a little bit about what's been going on personally from our conversations, and Coach Welch, to lead this program the way he has the past couple weeks, and I know, of course, credit to the players because they've showed up and performed in the big moments. Credit to Kilgo and Phillips for stepping up yesterday and all the other coaches that contribute. But Coach Welch has had to deal with so much. And to be able to lead this program the way he did, I don't think you can say enough about that. Whew! Alexandria, 5A state champions. we've got the awards presentation right now. Here it is. You see Coach Welch right there, head coach of the Alexandria Valley Cubs. By the way, great season for Mobile Christian as well. The MVP, the most valuable player of the 5A state championship series, was Andrew Allen. Through a complete game in game one, had 11 strikeouts. Headed to Arkansas State. They have got a gem in Andrew Allen. He's going to be a phenomenal player at the next level. Runner-up, state runner-up in Class 5A was the Mobile Christian Leopards. Won the 3A football state championship because of private balancing in 5A for baseball. And how about Coach Zach Welch? State champion Zach Welch with the blue trophy as he brings it back to his team, who finishes on top. No one more deserving than Zach Welch, as you see his team hold that blue trophy high right there. And you see it right there, baby. The celebration continues. Bray Good, only a junior, but helped contribute to 15 seniors. You see the team right there with the trophy. 15 seniors that left a legacy that will never be forgotten, one that led to bringing back their first state championship in school history. And it really started on Monday. It started with Andrew Allen, who threw the complete game. We talked with Andrew Allen, who talked about how it felt to be a state champion.
Man, it's just so special. I mean, I've been working for this for so long. Everybody's been working for this for so long, and I'm just so glad we can finally say we did it.
There was a lot of players that contributed, but it was going to be tough to beat Andrew Allen and Trip Patterson. That was one of the best 1-2 combos in the state of Alabama in any classification. Trip Patterson's headed to North Alabama to play college baseball. Andrew Allen talked about what it's been like to play with Trip Patterson.
Man, me and Trip have just been special since we started doing it together a while back, and it's definitely tough to beat the both of us, and I'm just really glad we got to go out on a high note.
Speaking of Trip Patterson, he was probably one of my favorite players to cover this season in any sport. Great, humble player. Here he is talking about how it feels to be a state champ.
It's amazing. I love this team. I love who I did it with, and I wouldn't want to go out any other way.
You heard what Andrew said about Trip. Well, here's Trip talking about what it's been like for him to play next to Andrew Allen.
We're a dynamic duo. It's hard to beat us both. In fact, most don't. But, it's great, and I wish we could still do it after this.
Trip, you're right. In fact, most people don't. Matter of fact, 5 different teams could not during the playoffs. It all started in the first round of the playoffs at home against Douglas. They couldn't beat you. You went on the road to Lawrence County. They couldn't get it done. You went to Sardis. They did split with you, but then Bray Good got the job done. You come home against Springville. They couldn't do it. Mobile Christian couldn't do it. 4 out of 5 teams got swept by Andrew Allen and Trip Patterson because they're 2 of the top pitchers in the state of Alabama. One of the top coaches in the state of Alabama, Zach Welch. State champion, Zach Welch. Here's Zach Welch talking about how it feels to be a state champion coach.
Man, I tell you, I'm just so proud to be a part of the team that we brought in here. Those orange jerseys really showed out today. I couldn't ask for a better group of players, a better group of parents that raised these boys to be who they are. Fan support that we got from our community, it's just, it's unreal, man. I can't say enough about it, and I'm so proud of where I'm from and this team that we're a part of.
Coach Welch led this program throughout the season, but he had a lot of great guys that helped contribute. Trey Phillips does a phenomenal job calling the game. You have, Coach Kilgo in his first season, a Westbrook Christian guy who's come in and did awesome as well. When Coach got ejected, those were the next 2 that had to step up in that moment, and they certainly did a great job. Here's Coach Zach Welch talking more about Jake Kilgo and Trey Phillips and talking about how those guys rose to the occasion in the biggest moment of the season.
I'll tell you, man, I have the best staff in the state. Trey Phillips has been with me 4, 5, 6 years. Jake Kilgo's first year with us, but those guys stepped into a role that they weren't in before, and they pulled us through. I'm so proud for them. I'm so proud of them, and I trusted them. I knew after I calmed down after the fact and knew that I was leaving the game to them, I felt really confident. Trey and Jake both take so much ownership in our program. They knew what to do. They knew how we did our business, and we spent a lot of time being on the same page. So when I left, I think everything continued on just the way that I would wanted it to, and I trust those guys to make those decisions. They did a great job.
Speaking of rising to the occasion, one of the reasons Alexandria is state champions is because Andrew Allen threw a complete game in Game 1 and Trip Patterson threw a complete game in Game 2. Both of those pitchers, unfortunately for the Valley Cubs, are moving on. One's head to Arkansas State, one's head to North Alabama. Zach Welch talked about the legacy that Andrew Allen and Trip Patterson are leaving behind.
They're the two-headed monsters, man. I tell you that I would put them up against anybody in the state of Alabama. With those guys on the mound, we have a shot to beat anybody. I would take anybody that you want to put up against us. I would feel good in a 2 out of 3 game series. They are special, and I was lucky to have them.
Alexandria wins the Class 5A state championship in 2 games over Mobile Christian. The fireworks went off last night. Girls golf state championship, boys baseball state championship, and right now the softball team is a couple outs away from advancing to where they will be playing for a chance to play for the state championship. Could you imagine 3 state championships in 1 week for one community? Alexandria is a very tight-knit community, a very special one. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk Thomasville Tigers and Westbrook Christian Warriors. Although things did not really go the way Westbrook wanted, still want to spotlight the Warriors and Coach Wendell because it was a great season for them. We'll also hear from the winning coach from Thomasville as we continue on the Locker Room.
We're able to connect faster than ever through technology. Maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ, a place to use the gifts and talents God has given you, a place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Welcome back into the Locker Room. I'm Namath Pitts. This Wednesday afternoon, we're going to wrap up by talking 3A State Championship baseball. I do want to remind you that tonight we have our East Alabama Now news at 6:30 p.m. Although the Locker Room is now only 3 days a week for the months of May, June, and July, East Alabama Now news is still every night, Monday through Friday at 6:30 p.m. So you still can get a little bit of sports even on those 2 days that we don't have the Locker Room. Hey, Westbrook Christian had a great season. I think coming into the postseason, if you'd asked a lot of people who they thought would be playing for the 3A state championship, probably one of the first teams they would have said is, well, Piedmont, Decatur Heritage, Gordo. Then I think once Decatur Heritage got beat by Fayette County, Piedmont got beat by Fayette County, people started saying Fayette County. Well, then when they lost, it was Lauderdale County. Nobody ever said Westbrook Christian. Well, they got the job done. They got 1, 2, 3, 4 and gave themselves a chance to win a 3A state championship when everybody had counted them out. A lot of people don't really see what happens in the day-to-day operations for Westbrook Christian. Coach Wendell's not just a show up and let's play baseball guy. This is a team that started waking up 15, 20 minutes earlier each day to spend time with the Lord, to open up the Word, to be in prayer. This is a team that really made their foundation the gospel, really made their foundation that their identity is not in baseball, but their identity is in who Christ says they are. And I love that about Coach Wendell, and I love that about this team. And that's why this team overcame a lot of odds. Although they came up short, they're going to bounce back even stronger. There's not a question about that. Coach Wendell's got it right in life. This team got it right this year when it comes to life. When it comes to eternal significance, Westbrook Christian was a winner. Though they fell on the diamond, we do have the highlights. So let's get out to Jacksonville State University for the Class 3A State Championship. I'll tell you, I'm proud to be an American. I don't know about you, but the flag was flying high. There's Thomasville head coach Clint Anderson looking to win the 4th state championship in Thomasville school history. Westbrook Christian coach Jerry Wendell seeking his first. Isaac Parton gets Will Chadwick to strike out swinging. By the way, I meant his first at Westbrook. He did win as an assistant at Springville. Bo Kilgo gets John Figures to strike out swinging. Dallas Bryant gets hit by the pitch, so he's going to jog to first base for the Tigers. Anthony Dotson at the plate. He hits a fly ball to left field, and it will be caught by Cam Carden for the out. Westbrook Christian now going to be at the plate. It's going to be Noah Wright. Noah Wright hits a single to left field. So he's going to be on first base. Westbrook Christian's got something going. Brody Johnson now going to be up at the plate. He hits a ground ball to Charles Morris. Charles Morris can't field it. Johnson's safe at first. That scores Noah Wright at home. Cam Carden then scores at home as well. He gives us a little celebration after scoring. Westbrook Christian has the lead. Dylan Rainey's going to add. He's going to hit an RBI single to center field. It drops, and that scores Jacob Maples as Westbrook Christian is going to be up by 1 late in the game. Ace Thompson hits a ground ball. Westbrook Christian gets a force out at second, but Thompson beats the throw at first base and avoids the double play. Luke Brazel draws the walk for Thomasville. but nothing goes for Thomasville. Let's move to the 6th inning. We're going to go to the 6th inning now. Westbrook Christian leads by 1. Gavin Nichols is going to hit one in the right center gap. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Nichols is going to go around first, going to go around second, and he's going to slide into third base. That is a leadoff triple in the 6th inning, bottom of the 6th inning for the Thomasville Tigers. They trail by 1. That's going to spark a pitch and change for Westbrook Christian. Ace Thompson's going to hit an RBI single to center field. That's going to tie the game up. We're now tied in the 6th. You see a little celebration right there from Thompson. Luke Brazel now at the plate. He's going to hit one. It gets through the gap, finds some outfield grass. It's going to score not 1, but it's going to score 2 runs for Thomasville. And now all of a sudden they have the lead in the bottom of the 6th inning, and they lead by 2. Brody Johnson gets Charlie Hill to strike out swinging. But Thomasville extends their lead. John Figures hits one to the right field wall. That goes deep, and that is going to score a run for Thomasville. They now lead by 3. That extends the lead, and Figures is safe at third base. Let's go to the top of the 7th inning. Westbrook Christian needs 3 runs to keep their season alive. Brody Blevins at the plate. He hits a pop-up to Ace Thompson. Westbrook Christian now has only 2 outs left in the game. They trail by 3. Westbrook's down to their final 2 outs. Will Chadwick hits a single to center field. Westbrook now has runners on first and second and has the tying run coming up to the plate. They got 1 out. Tying run at the plate. Isaac Parton gets Cam Carter to strikeout swinging, and Westbrook Christian is down to their final out. Final out, Brody Johnson hits one to the outfield. That's going to score 2 runs for Westbrook. They trail by 1, but Beckham Hammondtree tries to go to third base, and he is out. And that is the game. 8-7, devastating loss, Westbrook Christian. If Hammondtree would have stayed at second, who knows what could have, but woulda, shoulda, couldas don't matter in this particular situation. Still great effort from Westbrook Christian in the last inning. They did not fold. They scored 2 runs and put themselves in a position where they could have won the game. But talk about Thomasville, the resilience of this team to lose game 1 and come back and win game 2 in dominating fashion and hold on in another close game in game 3 to win the state championship. It's impressive. Coach Anderson's team didn't fold when they lost game 1 11-5. They came back, won game 2, won game 3. We caught up with Coach Clint Anderson, who talked about the resilience of his team. But before you hear his thoughts on that, I do want to show you the awards presentation for the Class 3A state championship. So let's go back out to Jacksonville State University. Here's Coach Jerry Wendell of the Warriors accepting a baseball for making the state finals. And Coach Wendell's going to stand over to the side while they do the same thing with Coach Anderson. Clint Anderson as well going to accept a baseball, and then the 2 coaches will meet together in the midfield. Thomasville only lost, they had 4 losses coming into the state finals. A great season for the Tigers. You see Wendell and Clint Anderson. The MVP, the most valuable player of the Class 3A series, was Charles Morris of Thomasville. He was intentionally walked multiple times in yesterday's game alone. Pitched a complete game in game 2 when they won 13-3. Coach Jerry Wendell accepts the state runner-up trophy. Or you see some of his players accept it, pardon me, but then Coach Wendell grabs it. And then Coach Clint Anderson from Thomasville accepts the blue trophy as Thomasville wins not 1, not 2, not 3, but this is their 4th state championship in school history. Their first one, though, in a long time, as you see them celebrate right there, and then they get their state championship hats and celebrate with the trophy at home plate. The Thomasville Tigers withstand a game 1 loss. They take game 2 and game 3 as they are the final team standing in Class 3A. It's the Thomasville Tigers. We did, though, catch up with Coach Clint Anderson after the game. We talked about the resilience of losing game 1 and coming back to win game 2 and 3. Here he is talking more about the resilience of this team.
Well, that's definitely a test of your resolve, and our guys, they compete at everything we do. That's one thing I say about our players. They're competitors, and I felt like that we would come out and compete. You just don't ever know the results, but very proud of them coming in here with their backs against the wall and doing what they had to do.
Thomasville was close 2 years ago, made the semifinals, fell just short. Last year it was an early exit, but this year they finally get the job done. They've grown a lot from the beginning of the season, and now Coach Anderson talked about what it is about this team that he'll remember the most.
I tell you, I got great kids. They're great, good people, and to me, that's more important than anything. Is they come and work hard. They do the things that coaches like for players to do, as far as the way they go about their business and off season, and we saw the potential in 2 years ago when we made it to the fourth round and had a shot at making it here, and had all those guys were sophomores, all those seniors, and so to continue to stay the course through that was impressive, because a lot of times you lose some along the way, and this group didn't do that.
Thomasville is state champions in 3A. They had to make 2 trips to Dothan in the playoffs, make a trip to Jacksonville. They certainly put the miles on the bus. A lot of miles for the parents as well, but they had a great crowd that came to Jacksonville to support them. Coach Anderson talked more about the community support.
Man, I tell you, our community is unbelievable. We've had so many people throughout the playoffs that's just followed us everywhere we've gone, and they do that in every sport. It's a great community to be a part of, and I'm excited for us as a team, but I'm also excited for our community.
Congratulations to Thomasville on winning the 3A state championship. Congratulations to Coach Wendell on a great season as well. And both of those teams left it all out on the field. Unfortunately, though, in this game called life, sometimes you have winners and sometimes you have losers. Hey, that's going to do it for us today on The Locker Room. Hope you'll join us back here tomorrow. We'll have highlights of state softball action from Choccolocco Park. The Alexandria Valley Cubs, can they do it? We're going to figure out. They've definitely got a chance to maybe bring home a 3rd blue trophy in 1 week for the Valley Cubs. For Coach Bryant and the Pleasant Valley Raiders, they hit the field. For Coach Rachel Smith and the Piedmont Bulldogs, they do as well. We'll have highlights of all 3 of those teams tomorrow on The Locker Room. Have a great evening. Thank you for watching The Locker Room. Hope you'll join us on East Alabama Now at 6:30 p.m.